Hi everybody, thanks for pressing play on the video today. It's Caroline here from craftycarolinecreates.com. This is today's project, which is a really cute little gift box. This is a mini version of a box that I made quite a few years ago now, probably 2 years ago. I put a link to the bigger version. This is a slightly different construction, but let me just show you. It opens up like this. This is the new Pretty Label Punch, it's called. The ribbon should just come off and it opens up like this. And you can fit some little treats in, jewellery, all sorts can fit in this beautiful little box. I just think it's really pretty. The stamping comes from the Happy Birthday Gorgeous stamp set, which you have seen me use before, and I really like it. Let me see if I can tie this back up again. This is also a new ribbon, look at that. I'll show you that ribbon in a bit more when we come to use it on the one we're going to make. It's called a chevron, mini chevron ribbon. A few years ago we had a chevron ribbon that I adored. They got rid of. There we go. Yeah, and that is our cute little box that we are going to make. So let's start. Right, we're going to start with some scoring. 2 pieces of cardstock. This one was Bermuda Bay and crushed curry. We're going to flip the colours. Still the same colours. We're going to use Bermuda Bay and crushed curry, but we're going to flip them. And we need cardstock. This bit measures 8 1/4 by 4. This bit measures a smidgen less than 4 inches by 5 inches. Scoreboard. Okay. All of the dimensions, as always, on craftycarolinecreates.com. I will make sure they're on there. I know I did forget earlier this week, sorry about that. But I will make sure that these are on there. Short side at the top, we're going to score very easily at 1 inch and at 3 inches. Okay. Then along the long side, we're going to score at 1 5/8, 2 5/8, 5 5/8, and 6 5/8. Oh, sorry about that. Knock off some stamp cleaner. Right. Oh, no, we need to do some more scoring. Don't put that away yet. This is our other piece of cardstock. Remember, this measures just less than 5 by 4. And we're going to score it at 1 inch on all 4 sides. Okay. There we go. Right. Let's do a little bit of stamping to begin with on this sheet. Now what you see, you've made sort of a square grid, and these larger rectangles on the end are going to be our sides. So that's this little bit that we're going to see when our lid is closed. So we want to decorate those up. So I'm going to use this small flower here from the Happy Birthday Gorgeous set, and I've got some crushed curry ink, and we are just going to stamp this all over each of those panels, stamping quite close together. Okay, now I'm going to do these 2 side bits so that when you open up you will see those as well. If you wanted to, and you wanted to save some time or some ink, you could leave these 2 unstamped, because we're not going to see those when our box is closed, because you see the end. Okay. But you want to make sure you do the 2 of the larger sides, because that is the bit that we're going to see when a box is closed. Okay, nearly done. There we go, that will be fine, I think. And while we've got our stamps and inks out, I am just going to do the sentiment. Now this is a really fab sentiment set, as well as having these lovely floral images. Got lots of very useful sentiments. Sometimes stamping up sentiments can be a little bit unusual, but this one is a really good sentiment set. We're going to use this big happy birthday in this gorgeous sort of curly font. Okay, and I'm just going to use a bit of Whisper White scrap, ink that up, and stamp that down. There we go. Crushed curry is a really good dark yellow colour. I think sometimes if you do Daffodil of Delight or So Saffron, you don't always see the text, but it always works really well in crushed curry. So this is the pretty label punch I was talking about. I'm just going to slide that in, line that up in the centre, like that, and punch that out. And while I've got a punch out, I'm just going to take a scrap of the contrasting Bermuda Bay. Where are my Bermuda Bay scraps? Here we go. Grab one out of the bin. This is a prototype lid. But waste not, want not. There we go. And I'm just going to stamp out another one. And what that will allow me to do is we will just layer that up behind our sentiment to give that little border. Should we do that now? Let's do that now. So just going to cut that in half. That one we've stamped out. A little bit of fuse or glue or whatever glue you want to use on the back, and then just come in and stick that behind it so you get, you know, like 1/8 of an inch, about 2 millimeters sticking out. Oh, don't stick to your hand. And then we do the same on the other side. I think just like that, and it puts a really nice border around the punched shape. Right, let's do some box constructing now. So you're just going to fold and burnish along these score lines. Okay, and then we're just going to cut up here and here, flip it round, do the same on the other side. This is really simple box construction. I'm just going to notch out those tabs. Here and here. Okay, right, a little bit of fuse on here, a little bit on there. Oh, now thundering. The weather is crazy at the moment, and just fold that up. So this is, you know, really simple box making. Hopefully you can't hear that thunder, but it's really thundering now. So the rain won't be far behind. So let's just put that to one side and bring in our other piece. And we'll fold and burnish all of those score lines. Okay, right. Now on both sides, let's just cut up these score lines, just like that. Spin it round, and one up there, one up there, and the last two here. There we go. Okay, now we're going to do some cutting. So we're going to start from this point, and we're going to cut diagonally across that flap. So we're basically going to cut it off like that. Okay, so that's one. You can do it with your trimmer, as always, when we do these diagonal lines, but I just find that if you use a pair of scissors, you can get as good a result, really. So one line there and one line there. Okay, and then on this little flap, just wedge that out a little bit, just like that. Okay, and then do the same here on the opposite side. Oh, don't do it that way. Start at the middle and go out like that. Like that. And then the same on the flap here. Diagonally across and just notch it out a little bit. Same on the opposite corner. There we go. And the last one here. and then just trim that out there. Right, move all this scrap out of the way, straight into the bin. And this is the sort of shape we are left with. I'll just pause there for a second so you can see what we have cut out. It looks a lot more complicated than I think it is. Now we are going to bend these flaps over and we're going to put some fuse on them, on each of them. Okay, and then we're going to fold these up and stick them down like that. And there, and our last one there. Okay, so we've made our two flaps that come up like that. We need to cut up now, and you can do this before you fold up, is cut up these two flaps here on either side. So just go straight along that score line, take those off, 1 and 2. Okay. Bring in your little box that we've made, and you can just then sneak that inside, and the box will fold up around it just like that and close neatly, or it should be catching somewhere. There we go. That's one side. What's that catching on? There's a bit of glue. There we go. That's better. So one side will go in like that and fold over, and then the other side will come down over the top, just like that. Okay, so you can see you get that really cute little fold. What we need to do is put some glue on the base of our box now. I think this tombow is nearly done. Let me grab another one. I'll retire that one. That was the clunk as it fell into the bin. It is, that one has been on its last legs for a while. Some tombow on the base. I'm just going to push that down into there. Then fold up our lid over the top. There we go. Okay. And then all that is left is to decorate it. And I said we were going to use some gorgeous ribbon. This is the new mini chevron ribbon, and this is very similar to the chevron ribbon we had a few years ago, which I absolutely love. Probably my favourite Stampin' Up ribbon ever. This is a little thinner. It is gorgeously soft. It is beautiful. If you'd like to try out some of the Stampin' Up ribbons, I do have a few spaces left in my ribbon share. So that means you get a metre of over 40 brand new ribbons. So it's a really good way to try out some of those ribbons before you buy. That's not closing up as neatly as I would like it to be. I must have cut my cardstock just a little bit off. But you get the impression, hopefully. There we go. So it folds up just like that. So I'm going to bring my ribbon, that's better, isn't it? Yeah. Bring my ribbon round, and I'm just going to tie it closed. You don't really need to necessarily tie it closed. It does stay closed quite nicely on its own. I'm just going to tie off a little flat knot, but I wanted to show you this gorgeous new ribbon. And there we go. That's nicely closed, isn't it? Much better. This gorgeous new ribbon. This is Bermuda Bay matching. Okay. Get that tail down a little bit more. There we go. And then our sentiment, we are going to stick that on one side only, so that when we open up, we can do that with dimensionals, and we want to get our dimensionals either side of the ribbon as well. So 2 dimensionals, one here and one here. Oop. This one off. There we go. And stick that down, and there we go, that's nicely closed up. It does close up nicely, just need to give it a little bit of love. And there we go. How cute are they? I really think they are very, very pretty, a little bit different. 2 little beautiful little gift boxes. Hope you enjoyed the video today, and I will see you again soon. Remember, if you would like to buy any Stampin' Up products, you can do that 24/7 at craftycarolinecreates.com. Bye bye.